Hello.
Hello.
Now, should I wear these headphones the whole time or should I take them off?
And I'd like quiff coming out the front.
Lisa gives me shit about my hair. I don't know if you were making fun of me or it's like a compliment.
I'm definitely making fun of you. You seem to be coping well though.
It's destroying me inside.
Yeah, is it? You'll be
I'm
right.
taking it off. Yeah. We're all good. All right, we're doing a Q&A.
We are.
Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
First one is from Sarah Shea. How to manage it all with a busy work and home life. How do you do it, Lisa?
Excuse me while I go and have a nap. So I think the reality to this is that there's no nice, sexy answer. And I actually get asked that a lot. How do you run a business, be a single mum and do all the things that you need to do and maybe even find some time to look after yourself? And there's no magic solution. Can we please move to the next question?
Do you need to love what you do to be able to do it while still being tired?
Yeah.
Or do you just have to have no choice?
Yeah.
Which one's the driver for you?
Yeah. Tired and busy, I think, go together. You know, they're words that get used a lot. And there's a difference between being tired and busy and just feeling stressed and overwhelmed by that, or being tired and busy and feeling like you're doing exactly what you're meant to be doing and putting your head on the pillow at night and going, that was an ace day. You know, so it's about what you're doing and how you're doing it and whether it's feeding your soul or not.
All right, Michelle, how to stop worrying about others judging you?
This is something that comes up in coaching a lot because it ties in with brand, how people judge us in terms of success and getting a tap on the shoulder for the next role, and in general with life, you know, friends and family and all of that. And I think there's something really powerful about saying, guess what? Sometimes you are annoying and irritating, and there are things that you do that people won't like. You know, that is just a reality. And sometimes you've just got to get yourself out of the way a bit and go, as long as I'm clear about me being a good person, my purpose, my role in the world, the job that I'm doing, that's kind of got to be your anchor. Am I being who I want to be? And am I behaving and living in a way that's aligned with the things that I value?
And so when it actually happens, so someone might be judging me, you definitely
You and
judge
your hair?
Yeah,
Yep.
you definitely judge my hair.
Yeah.
But what do you do? Like, obviously those feelings will come up if it's in a work environment and you're being judged.
There's a simple answer for this one. Choose the meaning you give it.
Yeah.
You know, hear what's been said and you get to decide. You're the grown-up. Is that something I want to put any headspace into, or am I just going to let it go through to the keeper? Or is there something in that for me? Did it hurt a bit because I'm concerned about that too? You know, decide what meaning you're going to give it and let it go.
Well, I'm thinking about my hair too, so it really hurts. Nikki Rudge says, how do you graciously accept and work the changes that you must undertake when others around you don't or want to do the same?
This is a real challenge, particularly for people who are trying to create new habits or new ways of being. It can impact your friendship group, how people around you interact with you at work. And what's important to note is that just because you're changing doesn't mean the people around you will. And often when you're doing the work on yourself, the beliefs that you've held for a really long time might start to shift. And so people aren't good with change, you know, and discomfort. And people can feel curious, but also stressed or a bit nervous about why you're changing. So part of it is explain to people, bring them in on the ride, share your story, talk about why it's important. And the reality is if they don't get on board with that and want to support that, then they might not be the right people to have around you at this time. It doesn't mean that they can't come back in later. But if you're doing the work on you, surrounding yourself with people who understand that vision and why it matters is really important.
What about you personally for when I know I met you before you had what you do now?
Yeah.
There would have been some big changes then. How do you cope with friends that aren't accepting the change you were needing to make to get to where you want to go? What did you do?
I was just thinking, checking if I do have friends. I do.
Lost them all?
No, I do. And I've been really fortunate to have people in my life that have grown with me and been in experiences with me. And sometimes that's been as a support mechanism, or they've been part of a cheer squad for me, or just someone who will listen. I think the thing that's important is to tell people what you need from them. So when you can say to a group of friends, right now, I actually don't want you to solve anything for me and I don't need your advice. This is stuff I've got to work out. And there are times when we need to be able to articulate that there is something that we need from someone. It might be that it's dropping dinner in or telling you the truth, and really challenging your thinking on something. But that's where I find it can be really helpful for people to stop and think, if there are people who are precious to me in life, do I help them be part of my story by making it clear what I need? And vice versa, do I do that for them as well?
This one is from Amy Jacket.
Do you know her?
It's my wife.
You should keep her.
Yeah, I definitely keep her. Did you, Lisa, have a burning passion to start your current business, or did it come out of necessity?
So it was not a burning desire. I had always had the entrepreneurial voice in my head from as long as I can remember. Running my own business and having a consulting type business was something that was on my list. It was something I wanted to do. I didn't necessarily know how or why or when that would happen, but it certainly came out of circumstance when I quite suddenly found myself responsible for 3 children on my own and a single mum. There's a whole lot of choices that I had to make quite quickly about, do I go and get a job? Is this the time in the midst of all the mayhem that I'm going to step up and go and create something that will serve me, my growth, my children, financial needs? And that was the choice that I made, to just step into it.
And now we're here.
And here we are.
Well, that's it for now. I've got to go check my hair.
Okay.